What's up, guys? Robidou here, bringing you some Des Moines gameplay. Pretty aggressive run I had the other day. I play Des Moines a little differently, I guess, than others. I like to play open water for the most part. A lot of angling. It's kind of stressful, more stressful than if you're just sitting behind an island, obviously, but it definitely allows you to be more in the fight and utilize that insane reload on Des Moines. I run Des Moines kind of different, like a different build than a lot of people. I run rate of fire mod instead of range, as well as pretty much no AA. As you can see, I'm running hydro as well. That way I can stay open water. Obviously, DDs are going to hate me and try to taunt me, so I have that to increase my survivability when it comes to hunting destroyers and pushing up the flank, like you'll see me do in this video. So as you can see, I'm divved with my buddy Statik. He's doing the Fletcher grind currently. What better ship to div with than the best DD killer in the game? I like to play Des Moines with a DD of sorts, just because you always have that safeguard. Since I do play aggressively, I can always ask for smoke if needed, but it's never a requirement for me. In this situation, Statik actually DC'd right there, so I'm trying to push up to help him, and then we got this crazy cab that gets detected. Obviously, I expect him to turn out, but you can never truly read certain players. As you'll come to see here, he's just going to push up. I asked the Gearing to smoke for me, just so that I could have some cover after this cab went away. And like I said, I thought he was going to dip, but he keeps pushing, and I believe he just had spotted Statik relatively soon there. So he sees him, and he's going to just tunnel vision on him. And I'm going to get detected pretty soon here. So I'm trying to help Statik out by trying to save him from this cab, so when he gets back in, he can actually have a decent game. Potato. So while I'm shooting this guy, I'm trying to get a feel of where the enemy's going. There's only a North Cal and a Kutuzov over here so far, so I'm pretty calm on about taking fire. Starting to reverse now. That way I can continually angle, or try to, at the NorCal. I did get that kill, I dropped that kill to the Mogami, which is kind of a shame, because that would have put me up to damn near 8 at the end. I'm going to do some DPS to this NorCal, and while I'm doing the damage to him, I'm looking at the map. So Statik's going to push out to spot a little bit. I'm going to keep hitting this stuff over here, and as I'm doing this, I'm kind of looking around and trying to decide what my next move is going to be. Since once this NorCal goes on the corner, there's really nothing on this side of the map that I have to worry about at all. So I'm thinking I'm going to start pushing up here. And this poor Kutuzov got kind of abandoned, so he's going to try to make a move back towards his team, but he will soon find out that isn't as easy as it seems. I'm going to start opening up on him in a second here. Guys, look for opportunities. Don't be the turpits down there. Like, how much damage do you think he's at? Probably, I don't know, maybe 2,000? Maybe. Quick work of this Kutuzov. Now I'm reorienting, getting my situational awareness back, looking what I can do. I see there's torps coming from there. I know there's a destroyer near Statik. That's the Gearing. NorCal's coming up. I got to worry about taking shots from him. The Yamato's across, he could get shots at me. Also the NorCal if he wanted to outside. DDs could torp as well. So I'm trying to take in all this and figure out where I really want to go. My team has them pretty distracted over there, but they could, if they do die, their focus is going to be shifted pretty quick, and I'm the nearest ship currently, so I got to be careful. I'm going to start focusing these DDs because 5 DD games are fucking cancer, and they all need to die as soon as possible. Biggest thing here is checking all the ships. Keep your situational awareness. I checked that Yamato. He's not looking at me. I get behind the island so the NorCal to the north can't shoot at me. And I see the other battleship way in the north is going away, so he's not paying attention either. Gonna try to make quick work of this Akizuki. He's down. Now I'm going to slow down here. I don't want to overextend myself. Wait for my team to catch up a little bit. I see this Yamato start to come this way, but he is not looking at me still. Statik was nice enough to drop me some smoke, so I can fucking harvest those crops and get some damage. I asked my team earlier if we got to the cap, if they would try to lure them back but not focus on actually getting the cap, just because there's really no point. I mean, people that do that and just end the game early, I think that's kind of stupid. It doesn't give you much time to learn or explore on your ships. If you just are trying to win by doing that, you're not letting yourself grow as a player. Doing some good work to these BBs at the moment. Looks like they're gonna start shifting and refocusing on the base now. Our team's falling back towards ours base, and they're kind of all breaking off. All the enemies are breaking off back towards their cap at the moment. So keeping an eye on my smoke timer. Got a minute left to do as much work as possible. Keep trying to damage everything as much as I can. And yes, I'm gonna AP this gearing because I can, and AP actually does pretty good with Des Moines, especially on gearings. Kind of potatoing these shots, but at the same time, if you think of it as if you shoot where they should go and they don't go there, all they're doing is kind of fucking themselves over by closing the distance with you. So I'm gonna get him turned around now. Smoke's going down, and I usually like to start moving around 30 seconds, 20 to 30 seconds. That way I can ensure that I have the flexibility to get out of there in time. See this Minotaur and NorCal pushing. I'm going to try to sneak up on this Minotaur. Got out of the way for those torps. Taking that opportunity not to open up right away. He's distracted at the moment. I'm going to open up and club him when he's not paying attention. Easy work there, making sure to dodge that island so I don't get stuck. And as you can see, they're not shooting for a little bit, and that smoke for that last like 30 seconds really got their attention away from me, so I was able to move up pretty much unscathed. As I'm shooting at this Charles, I'm trying to look at my surroundings and who I need to worry about. This NorCal's coming in pretty hot at me, so I was debating on going right or left. If I went right, then I'd basically bow on him, which I didn't really need to, especially if I did end up pushing out there. I would be exposed to the other North Carolina and the Charles and Ibuki too, so I chose to go left since they're all moving that way, and now I just dropped 3 potential ships shooting at me down to only 2, or I guess 3, considering the Shima's still out and about. So I'm gonna pillar hump. Wow, terminology. Pillar hump this NorCal ring around the rosy, if you will. And I was gonna try to set up to where I could kind of shoot backside on him, but I saw this shimmy here, so now shooting while dodging torps is something that is not the easiest, and I wouldn't recommend it if you aren't able to multitask very well, because it's pretty easy to make a tiny mistake. And as you saw there, if I wouldn't have slowed down, if I would have sped up or whatever, just a fraction of a second too late, I would have gotten absolutely clubbed by those torps. The only reason I stopped here is because I saw the NorCal wasn't looking at me at all, and I did drop detection after I killed the Shima, so him having poor situational awareness, he could have just rounded the corner and dropped me, but he chose not to. I thought this gearing was going to drop torps, but he didn't. That's why I was kind of just, I don't know, using AP just because I thought he was pretty much dead anyways, but ended up just kind of sailing by. So he quickly got saturated here, and he's going to make the mistake of turning out, and that's going to expose a little bit of unsaturated superstructure in this next salvo. Immediately shift focus back to the rest of their team. That's one of my favorite things to do in a Des Moines is get these nice sneak attack shots. If you catch a guy broadside, fire before he sees you, and there's not much you can do. So for the last part of this video, I just wanted to kind of talk about the U.S. cruiser split coming up. And the War Sister, and kind of what that's potentially going to bring to the table. So it's basically, from what I understand, a Des Moines hull and everything. They're somewhat sister ships in a way, just from their design. And then you come to the guns, is where they differ. War Sister having 6 double 152s. Same armor layout, everything like that. So it's going to be interesting when they come, because it's going to play like a Des Moines in a way, except with a lot less punch, but a more consistent DPM over time with that rapid fire. It's going to essentially be like a HE Minotaur, or I guess just a higher tier Atlanta, you could think of it as. Well, with this salvo, this will wrap up the game. As you saw, I was about to get clubbed by torps there. So here's the final scorecard: 242,000 damage. I got 7 kills. Sadly, dropped that 1/8 in the cab early game. 8 Citadels, Kraken, High Caliber, and Confederate. Also ended up being a nice 3,400 base XP, and we got a nice spread of damage across the board. That's it for me today, guys. Appreciate it. Hope you liked the video. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll catch you next time. Later.